Right, so we do have our scouts moving up over here then. These scouts are moving a little bit faster than I would have imagined, actually. Was that fire they just came under? I'm not too sure if that was them kicking up the actual dirt bed, but it just for a second sounded like a shot out on them. And that does worry me there. I'm going to tell them to actually hide there, perhaps. And, frankly, hope for the best. And we do have our ATGM units over here, and I'm going to have that shifted up then to a position to ready itself should it be able to be used. Now, I might be able to move up a Bradley over here to potentially support them, and that's not a bad idea, really. Whoops, let's not go for the B. Cancel that. I'm going to look always for the hold down positions if we can find them. The idea is ideally we are in cover then. Right, so we'll get these Bradleys moved out, but I'll move a Bradley up over here then. I'd like to actually make use of the optics more than anything else. Right, so Bradley's moving then. So far, so good, but I imagine the enemy is just simply waiting for us to actually approach, and then unleash that hell that they have planned for us. Right. We haven't lost anything as of yet. I keep pointing that out because I do expect it to happen. We're not seeing any spotting being conducted yet. They are looking. You can see they are looking for targets. Right. Yeah, they're under fire. Yeah, I thought they were under fire. Okay. It looked to come from this sort of area over here, actually. Yeah, where's that shot from here? Did you guys see that? I think it came from this over here, actually. What do you guys reckon? Or is it somewhere else, actually? Let's see. It's somewhere in this area. That's all I know. Now, that is somewhat worrying, of course. It does mean that we are spotted. It means that we do need to be quite careful, and we do likely need to pull back here. Yeah, I mean, this is it. The issue is I do need to be sure. It's very likely that it is the tower, I'd imagine. It does seem like the likely position there for an enemy sniper. But as a condition, sorry. A JDAM. I'm not entirely sure what a JDAM is. That sounds awesome, though. Let's go to the briefing then. So, tactical map. Now, what is it I'm not meant to blow the hell up? So, let's see. Briefing. Oh, right, that's amazing. That does sound pretty awesome, actually. Right, okay. It is mentioned here regarding civilian structures. Where perhaps was it now? Right, that some seems to be hiding in their homes and in the town mosque. Okay. Right, the following are preserve objectives. I think I might be able to go ahead and actually display objectives if I'm correct. Oops. Keep going between the bloody wide. I'm not used to using the hotkeys. I'd love to use the game without using the hotkeys. But I need to go ahead and figure out why OBS is kind of weird with the game here. But I'll get used to them soon enough. Just take a look at hotkeys. Display objectives. If I can actually see the objectives, that'd make things significantly easier then. So, show objectives, show landmarks. So, we're looking at Alt-J. So, Alt-J. Right, oh, there we go, actually. Ah, thank you very much there, BLeAcHACiD. So we can see this is an objective over here, then. We do have objectives over here, then. Objective in mine area. Objective over here, then. These appear to be mines. This, I'm not supposed to touch. Now, was it Alt-L for the landmarks? Right, there we go. That's much, much better there. So we have the mosque over here, then. That's excellent now. We can actually work with that. So I have here, then... what is that? The irrigation system. We were aware that there were forces near the underground irrigation system. Otherwise known as a sewage. Sewer. Right, school. Open air market. We do have the water tower here. We do have a gas station. Government building, hotel, fire station. Is that a warehouse? Warehouse and industrial port? Oh, industrial park. I was going to say, yeah, okay, good luck, we're a port out here. Okay, so we only have preserve objectives on the school, on the mosque, and what was the other one? The houses there. So the water tower is free game. The underground irrigation system is free as well for targeting. So we'll bear that in mind. Now, what we'll look towards doing then is I could potentially bring up a Bradley to put some fire on that. I could potentially use one of the Abrams to put some fire on that tower. Let's go ahead. I'm just going to click that there. Now, if I was to target briefly... So we could target that tower there briefly. With one of the Bradleys. Do you guys feel that we should potentially put more fire in there? It looks like we do have the other Abrams able to put some fire into said position as well. It may be worthwhile putting quite heavy fire in there. We could potentially put fire into these buildings over here. It seemed as if a shot came out this way, but I'd wager that it was probably the tower. It does seem like the tower is the likely culprit here. My war crimes. Well, this is it. I don't need to use 4, but frankly, it's... how often do you get to use 4 Abrams in such a way? not that often is the answer there. Okay. Deploy a scout team. Move over here then if we can. Link up with the 4 scout team and go from there. That team... well, they're hiding right now. We're going to have these... Well, this is it. If I hide, it doesn't make much use. I would like them to try and spot the enemy if they can. But we'll go ahead and we'll go with that then. It is going to be pretty awesome to see the Abrams open up. I'm not going to lie. Yep, they acquire their targets. And they're going to open fire. Oh, yeah. Okay, that looked pretty badass. Oh, yes, that looks pretty fun there. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and watch that again, because that was rather impressive there. And dead. Yeah, so that's about, what, 3, 4, 120mm shells, 20mm shells. If there's a sniper in there, he had a really, really bad day just all of a sudden. Need to press play. There we are. And that's what a bad day looks like. Ouch. Well, that day gets worse. Right, well. One would hope if you were that sniper that you had previously relocated, otherwise you would be in a pretty poor position right now. But we have blown the living hell out of the top story of the water tower there, which is nice. Not for the water tower, of course, but for us. Do they have shotgun shells for those Abrams? You can see that's kicked up some dust there. So we have a high explosive anti-tank, we have the APFSDS there, APFSDS. Yeah, so I don't think we have anything beyond those two shells there. We don't have a great deal of shells either, so I do have to be quite careful. High explosive anti-tank, well, we have a few of those. So, I mean, this is it. We have I think we fired off about 2 shells there, so we have about, well, we had about 17 shells per tank there. Still got 15, we've still got the APFSDS? APFSDS. Which is not too bad. I do want to push up, but I do feel that we need to identify where the enemy is to some extent. Now, might be a good idea to potentially deploy a Bradley to creep up over here. It may be worthwhile to deploy the actual rest of the actual squad up here beforehand. And the reason being, if we can get some more eyes up over there, then at least that's something. So that is first squad B team, this is second squad A team, that's second squad B team there. Yeah, I can imagine being hit by a gigantic shotgun would be pretty impressive. It would certainly leave an impression, one would say. So what I'm going to do then is allow the infantry to dismount there. Have about a 20-second pause. I'd like them to open up. But what I would like them to do is possibly, just as much as possible, I really do hope when I tell them to hold down that they actually do take such a position, because I'd like them to be essentially spots in for us and ideally not within the enemy's line of sight. Well, they're going to be no matter what, really. There's not much I can do about that. You understand what I'm going for, really. We want them to be able to see the enemy, but not to be destroyed by the enemy. Or at least not easily destroyed by the enemy. We are aware that there are BMPs in the town, so that's going to be quite fun to find them. I'm not noticing any shots on them. So the sniper's either hiding or dead. Or has relocated. He may potentially have relocated previously. Now this is a danger zone because it's like, I don't know how hull down that is, but it doesn't seem very hull down. That doesn't seem hull down. I'm going to have to tell them to back up. Oh, okay, now they're deploying. What? Oh, okay. I may have expected those orders to be carried out differently, but we do have eyes on target, actually. Who spotted that? Oh, you've been spotted by the Bradley over here. Well, there we go. So the Bradley was actually positioned well, which is nice. Let's see. Did we get it wrong, actually? Oh, wow. What do we see over here? Oh, wow. That is a pretty impressive spot. Oh, my God, that's impressive. Okay, well, at least we're aware, then, of an ATGM over here. Now, ideally, the ATGM is not aware of us. It does sound like the actual Bradley there did just briefly open fire. Yes, it had just begun to open fire. And that's pretty fantastic. The game is really awesome. You do get... Oh, it looks like we are experiencing difficulty with the trees here, which is not ideal. We could potentially call fire support in that position there, and it might be worthwhile doing so. Well, we do have eyes on, so it's not a bad bad point to bring fire down on, I guess. I mean, if there's anybody in there, then we might be able to kill them. Kill them. What I'm going to try to do here, then, by using the anti-personnel mortars is... I suspect that they will probably go to ground with the Bradley opening fire on them, so I'm hoping that the mortars there with the anti-personnel choices shell might be able to kill them if they're hiding, essentially. Okay. So, we're taking things pretty slow. Slow but cautious. There is something to be said for moving on a little bit faster, but it does seem to be paying off so far. I think I will have that Bradley reversed a little bit more than that. I do not find that position to be entirely comfortable for us to make use of there. It is going to be a difficult point to actually figure out which is right, but we'll go from there. At least by having it reversed, if it's already been targeted, it may yet survive. Right, so we have shells from the Bradley possibly reaching out here. Right, we do have some shells reaching out this way. Ooh, pretty close. Yeah, so this is what I'm expecting here for them to go to ground. There's apparently another enemy target out this way. But this is actually really important to be to be able to identify an ATGM. I believe that we were somewhat aware of this one to begin with. I believe it had been spotted, but this is it. It's good to get the actual enemies' heads down there. You can actually see these shells in the tree there. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Don't die. Right, we are seeing a few things kicking off now. So you've been spotted over here then. Abrams has actually been made aware of the enemy's position here. It looks like they did fire an ATGM. It looks like it went wide there. It looks like... Right, they've gone to ground there. Right, okay. Let's go ahead and actually see what happened here from our side. From our point of view there. Yeah, I mean, those trees are causing a bit of a problem there. But in fairness, the problem that is being caused by the trees is a problem that is being caused for the enemy ATGM launcher as well. So, we are made aware of it. It does fire a shot off. Right. Yeah, so we... Wow, look at that. Oh my god. Oh my god, okay. No, that ATGM was very close there. And it might have even potentially hit other vehicles here. Like, you can see it coming in there. So let's, let's watch this. Right, so we see the ATGM here. Yeah, it veers off course there. It looks a little bit high there, but that's not far off there. Yeah, you look at how much it passed over there. It didn't pass overhead by much. You can imagine that, yeah, he wouldn't be entirely happy. Are there trees? Are they destructible? I didn't notice. Have we destroyed any trees? And then we see that. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. You can imagine. I've been inside these vehicles, you're like, what the hell was that? Oh, yes, we just came very, very close there to death. Might want to move down here towards the depression a little bit further. Are they indeed indestructible? Takes a fair bit of high explosive, though. Well, that's good to know, then. Well, I mean, the good news is we did have our Abrams open up, and it looks like it's a very interesting little situation that took place. Because he fires ATGM, and then I think we do have our Abrams open up. Something hits that. That's the interesting part there. Let's see. Right, so we see the ATGMs launched over here. Now, did that shot come from the Abrams? Let's see. So the Abrams is not yet aware. The Abrams is now aware, but that shot came out from elsewhere. Where did that shot come from? Right, something's just fired there. So, it fires about 144.15. And hits here. Where the hell does that come from? And then we see the ATGM there. And it's incredible how fast they move. Absolutely incredible how fast they go. So it looks like there's another ATGM over there, and that might explain what hit the actual water tower. So if these are the ATGM launchers, then that's not too bad. At least we can actually go ahead and bring some mortars down on their asses there. What do you guys reckon to that event then? What do you think actually took place then? Was that a third ATGM? Well, yeah, a third ATGM team, and their ATGM actually hit the water tower. It does make you wonder where said ATGM was actually targeted, frankly. But what I'm going to do here is, of course, call in some fire support. Now, let's see. I could call in 4 mortars on that one, but I think 2 might be around about sufficient. I'm going to go for a linear target, give or take. Go for medium and short. Just go for general immediately if you can. So we'll call in that fire support there. Okay. Now, of course, the issue is we do have the actual Bradley laying down some fire down here. It is calling in fire support over here as well. And they're currently heads down. These fellows over here are not yet heads down. And then it seems to be a third team in this area over here, actually, in that courtyard, potentially. Now, I do have the Abrams opening fire. As you can see, they are opening fire. Right, okay. I really do dislike the actual realization here that we do have Abrams that are potentially within the line of sight of the enemy. I'm going to have this Abrams move up to ideally try to engage the enemy if I can. We'll take a look. I do worry that we might have been spotted over here. So what I'm going to do then is actually have these vehicles reversed somewhat. Now, I may go ahead and place down some smoke. I think that's a very wise idea. So pop some smoke there. I'm going to have this team actually move away from the from the Bradley under fire. I do not think it's a good place to be right now. Now then, can they spot anything? That is the question. So, about that position there, so we need to inch a little bit forward there. About that, give or take. Right, so it looks like they've merged there. I guess we'll go with that. Ideally, the Abrams will be able to engage the enemy. We do have them opening fire. Yeah, so you can see that they are under some pretty heavy fire right now. Right, so they're under fire, but it is potentially, yep. There is a third team there. And they're hitting their tower. Oh my god. That's really looking for us right now. Looks like mortar's gone in wide there. So we spotted you over here as well. Okay. I'm not too sure how many rockets they do have, or ATGMs they do have. But I mean, the fact is, he's hit that tower twice. He's not in a great position. It does make you wonder who he's targeting. He may be targeting the actual Bradley outbound way. I'm so happy they keep hitting that tower. He may be, in fact, trying to target the actual Abrams there. Right, fire missions are out. I think it's the amount of shells that the mortars do use, perhaps. Okay. So his aim isn't exactly great. I'd imagine he is aiming at that Abrams. And that's the only thing I can imagine he's aiming at. He does have a very slim line of sight. You'd imagine that wall's actually in the way there to some extent. But this tower's actually really taken some hell. It's taken a couple 120mm shells. It's taken a couple ATGMs in there. It's doing us a really nice service, frankly. Right, so do have that smoke over there, which does help to protect us. Right, okay, let's take a look then. You're not aware of the enemy. You are aware of the enemy. I think what we'll do over here then is we frankly back up. And possibly move to that position there and ideally be able to make use of a second Abrams to put some fire out that way. Let's see. Yeah, tower is strong. Right, okay, so they're buttoning up. We do have our Bradley that can engage. Oh, no. Now again, now again. Right, okay. You may want to make your mind up, frankly. Right, mortars are starting to come down now. Oh, there we go. We're taking out the wall here, which is good. So at least their cover has been reduced now. Something that we may wish to do then is possibly push on this position. We have identified where 3 ATGM launches are, which is good to know about. We haven't yet killed any of them, which is a bit of a problem. It may be that we do push up towards the actual positions here, really. I think what we're going to do then is actually mount up and then ready ourselves to push into the town, Ben, I reckon. So 3rd squad A team. First squad A team. Okay. I think we'll ready ourselves then to move the Bradleys up. I may wish to move the Bradleys up over here, to be honest. Okay. Now I do have these scouts. I'm going to have them move up over this way, ideally try and pick up on some targets there for us to engage, really. They really like to hit that tree. It looks like they have blasted their way through the trees now. Well, blasted their way through the tree. Sort of an ATGM. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, okay. Well, that's pretty bad then, actually. Now, I kind of regret not telling them to move faster than that, because if they did move on fast, they might have actually survived that. That is actually really quite rough there. That's quite a few casualties. That is actually a pretty damn nasty shot there. That's a really nasty way to use an ATGM. I actually didn't anticipate that they would be trying to hit infantry like that. Right, we do have our mortars landed in this area, so it's kind of revenge time now, but that's a shame. It looks like we finally have taken out one of the ATGMs over here, which is good news, so that's finally been taken out. We do have mortars that will ideally take out the others. This guy's still being engaged over here to some extent. That's a shame to have casualties there. And pretty substantial casualties at that. Yeah. Oh well, that's good to know. I do feel bad for them. That's quite a lot of casualties there. Yeah. That's not good. That's essentially one team more or less wiped out there. Yeah, when you have 3 men out of that. I don't imagine they're going to be in a great shape right now to be active much. I think what we'll do then is move quickly to that position there. Yeah, I think it was because they were actually just in the process of moving that they got caught out like that. What I'm going to tell them to do then is get quickly in the vehicle. And then move. We'll try that then. Probably a bad move to make. But I do not want to be in a position where we are under fire like that. Well, so far, so good. The danger is that there might be mines, and, well, we don't really have an eye as to what might be ahead of us right now. Well, we do have the bolts coming down along us, which is nice. Okay. Are we being hit? Oh, wow. So the enemy had called mortars on that position as well. Yeah, that's the problem if you remain in position too long, isn't it? Oh, it looks like we just hit them there. That looked like a very... Oh, no, that was actually off. Ah, okay. Did we hit them? It looks like he might be dead. Or he might be cowering. Looks like he's cowering there. Yeah, I don't think we hit him, yeah. Wow. Oh, no, he's dead. He's dead. Okay, so he's down. That's good news then. So there's one ATGM over here. We do still have to look out for the BMP, but that's going to be a lot of fun.